I'm Dr. Benjamin Levy. I'm a thoracic medical oncologist and lung cancer researcher from Mount Sinai in New York City. And what I'd like to talk today about is new or upcoming clinical trials that are trying to define a new space for immunotherapy drugs for lung cancer. And I think what we know about immunotherapy is that these drugs are firmly cemented into the treatment paradigm for patients with stage 4 lung cancer. Drugs like nivolumab and pembrolizumab, checkpoint inhibitors or PD-1 drugs, we know now provide either survival advantages or show impressive response rates for patients with stage 4 disease. And because of this, they are now approved, FDA approved for patients with stage 4. And I would argue that any patient with stage 4 non-small cell lung cancer should see these drugs at some point along their care, either as standard of care or as part of a clinical trial. And the question really is, can we borrow what we've learned from the stage 4 setting and apply it to the stage 3 setting for lung cancer? And this is a good space. Patients traditionally with stage 3 non-small cell lung cancer currently are offered only concurrent chemoradiation. And after we're done with concurrent chemoradiation, there are really no further treatment options for these patients. And unfortunately, a lot of these patients who undergo concurrent chemoradiation with unresectable stage 3 non-small cell lung cancer eventually recur. So this is an opportunity to really take these drugs that have been demonstrated to work so well in the stage 4 setting and apply them in the stage 3 setting. And there are currently several trials looking at immunotherapeutic approaches in stage 3, but I do want to mention two that I think are important. The first is the Pacific study. This is a study sponsored by AstraZeneca looking at the role of a PD-L1 drug, MEDI4736, post-concurrent chemoradiation. The patients that are going to be in this trial will have all undergone concurrent chemoradiation as the standard of care. And for those patients who at least achieve stable disease with concurrent chemoradiation, they will be randomized 2-to-1 to MEDI4736, a checkpoint inhibitor, a PD-L1 drug, versus placebo. As we know, the purpose of these drugs, as they were in the stage 4 setting, is to harness the immune system to turn against the cancer. And again, we're hoping to have similar results in the stage 3 setting as we are in the stage 4. Now, this large study that I just mentioned is going to try to enroll over 800 patients, and the primary endpoint will be overall survival. This second study is a study sponsored by Boeing. This study is looking at a different immunotherapeutic strategy, not looking at a checkpoint inhibitor or a PD-L1 drug, but instead looking at an mRNA cancer vaccine, a therapeutic cancer vaccine. This is a drug or a vaccine that codes for shared antigens that are hopefully on the patient's cancer cells as well. Now, similar to the Pacific study, this is a study looking at this approach post-concurrent chemoradiation. So patients who will undergo concurrent chemoradiation as the standard of care for their stage 3 unresectable lung cancer, if they have at least achieved stable disease after this approach, they will be randomized 1-to-1 to this mRNA vaccine versus placebo. This study is a little bit smaller. It's a phase 2 study looking at about 250 patients. Now, both of these studies have in their arms placebo as the control arm, and that may dissuade patients from wanting to pursue these clinical trials, but I would argue at this time